Mitchell Spinks is an electrician who's just started a solar installation business. When he put up panels on his own home in the New South Wales town of Scone, he was surprised he couldn't get a smart meter installed.
Yeah, I'm not very happy about it at all. I was just about sick of it. So 12 months is way too long to wait for something to be changed that should have happened within a couple of weeks.
He says he's been waiting for a smart meter since last December and paying bills he shouldn't have to.
I would guess that I've probably been charged $1,200 extra on what my usage should have been, and I don't think there'll ever be a return on that. So I've had the solar for 12 months for nothing.
While some households battle long delays to get their solar systems up and running, there's a bigger fight set to play out.
The engineering reality is, once we get too much solar in a certain space, it does start to cause technical issues. If there is too much energy coming back up the system in the middle of the day, it can cause either frequency, voltage, disturbances in the system which will lead to transformers and other equipment tripping off to protect themselves from being damaged, and that will cause localised blackouts.
There's no evidence yet of a rooftop solar system causing a widespread blackout or damaging infrastructure. But the industry that owns the network says the way customers are charged for electricity will have to change, or expensive upgrades will be needed to keep solar customers on the grid.
There are pockets of the grid in some states already where we have significant penetration, and we are starting to see technical issues, and we are starting to see networks requiring customers to pay significant upgrades in order to be able to get on. We are working very hard to try and minimise all of these outcomes.
A leading energy economist says there's even more at stake, because if too many people rely on solar, that's a threat to the business model of the companies that own Australia's poles and wires.
So when the customers use the network less to buy centrally produced electricity, they ship less product. When they ship less product, their underlying business is undermined. They need to charge more to the customers that are left, and that leads to what's been called a death spiral. And we are seeing rapid reductions in consumption at the point of use per household.
Do you accept at all that your members have a vested interest in making the argument that solar power destabilises the network?
Absolutely reject that claim. What we as networks have an interest in is running a safe network, running a reliable network, enabling the transition to a low-carbon future, and doing all of that while keeping costs down as much as possible.
The poles and wires companies, long criticised for their overspend on infrastructure, are responding to the challenge of rooftop solar in various ways. Networks in Queensland have reduced voltages to better support rooftop solar, while in South Australia they're experimenting with home batteries. But more broadly, the whole industry is contending with a policy vacuum from Canberra since the demise of the National Energy Guarantee.
Politics is making it very hard for good politicians to do the right thing. The entire electricity supply chain, including retailers, is culpable in a failure to provide affordable, reliable and cleaner energy.
Solar customers are paying on average $538 less per year than those relying on the grid alone. Around Australia, the poles and wires companies can decide which solar systems can connect to the grid. Small systems can connect automatically, but in some areas, those wanting a big system can find themselves caught up in red tape.
Support the panel.
Solar installer Glenn Morris says these limitations are holding back his business and preventing the take-up of new battery storage technology.
If you've already got a 5 kilowatt system, your house is full as far as the network's concerned. You go to add a battery, that's another 5 kilowatts. And they say, so, no, sorry, we're already full. So you can't add storage to your solar system. They're being denied the ability to have cheaper electricity.
Glenn Morris says the networks can solve the problem of excess solar flows into the grid.
So they already have the capability to turn off your solar inverter whenever they feel like it, if they choose to connect that functionality. So it's there in the inverter, the customer already has it.
The ACCC recently recommended scrapping rooftop solar subsidies. In Victoria, where the state government last month launched a $1 billion solar subsidy program, more than 13,000 people have already registered for the offer. 74-year-old pensioner AUDREY Broomhead is one of them.
I'm cleaning the solar panels so that they make more electricity for me, so I've got less to pay on my power bill.
Without the energy from her solar panels, she'd have to pay about $600 a month in electricity bills.
I've been very frustrated over this last few weeks trying to find out what's going on.
But 6 weeks after the installation of her new solar panels, she's only just got the system inspected and certified.
There's not enough inspectors, and 3 different people have told me that, including the inspector.
As customers contend with the system, are the poles and wires companies protecting their business model, or is there a real concern that more solar energy could cause blackouts?
Limitations are in place across the country to make sure the network stays safe and we don't have sudden rushes of people connecting to the grid that causes outage issues. What we are seeing is solar installers and others are slightly frustrated at different requirements from different networks, and sometimes they're unclear on the reasons for that.
They're definitely anti-competitive where a network can limit the amount of competition from other sources of generation. So if there's any vertical integration, for instance, between a network operator and a retailer, you could say that it's anti-competitive, that they are benefiting from their own rules.